Hey guys, welcome to the top. Oh, I just realized this is green.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to appear on the screen. It's Dos Equis with lime. Anyways, welcome to our top 10 worst, top 20 worst movies of 2024, and actually top 25.
Wow.
I'm going to get some honorable mentions in here. Now, last year, people were upset with me because I went too far. I went top 30
That's too many.
movies, and then those 10 I didn't see, and I just put them on there because they were the worst on IMDb, or they were the worst from Metacritic, and I wanted to give lip service because where's this movie? This movie's way worse than this one. It's like, because I didn't see it. So
These are the
just
movies
dropping
we
those.
saw.
These are the movies we've saw, and what's worse, because you motherfuckers did that, I actually had to go and watch some of these that I wouldn't normally have watched just for this fucking list. So here are 5 honorable mentions that do not make the top 20. 5 honorable mentions. There's Strangers Chapter 1. Fucking redoing the Stranger story over and over again,
They can only do
and then
so
now
much,
splitting it into different chapters. Fucking stupid. Speak No Evil, the American version. While what's his face puts in a great performance. What's his name? James McAvoy puts in a great performance. This is wholly inferior in every fucking way to the original Speak No Evil.
Is it New Zealand?
Yeah,
Or
it's like
some-
New Zealand. No, I don't. I don't know what country it's
forget.
from, but International does it so much fucking better. Actual fucking horror. The way Speak No Evil ends will stick with you for a long time, and the way Speak No Evil American ends, where Blumhouse bought it, it's that happy American ending, win every kind of bullshit, and it fucking sucks. And I know I just spoiled it for you. I don't give a fuck.
There's, yeah.
It's terrible. You need to watch the original. It's garbage. And then the next one is Strange Darling. This is a critical darling. You go and you look at the Rotten Tomatoes rating. It's super high. Fucking hated it. I hated every fucking moment. It's pretentious. It's storytelling sucks, and I hated it. And it's about this victim, this girl that's running, and it seems like it's a serial killer that's after her, but there's a twist. Maybe it's not quite what it seems, and it is fucking pretentious, and you'd roll your eyes in the back of your head.
Is that the actor Kyle something?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that guy.
Yeah, I like that guy, and
But-
he's the best part in it,
Oh.
where he's chasing her with the truck and the shotgun or whatever. Anyways, moving on. Another honorable mention is The Watchers, which was pointless, terrible. These creatures in the forest, these people, like, is this M. Night Shyamalan? I don't know what this is. It's so boring. This is an example of bad horrors, The Watchers. And then finally, last of the 5 honorable mentions, The American Society of Magical Negroes. While it has an outrageous name and this premise with David Alan Grier, who I like, and a lot of stuff, it is incredibly cringy, boring, whimsical in the wrong areas. It is bad, and I'm sorry I wasted my time watching it. Those are my honorable mentions.
Dishonorable mention.
Dishonorable mentions. Going on to the full list here. Number 20. So we saw this at the beginning of the year. It looked good. This has a bunch of practical effects in it. It's called Destroy All Neighbors. Do you guys remember watching that and reviewing it with me? You guys don't even want to
The
remember
apartment
it.
one. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah,
apartment
The
yeah.
one.
leprechaun.
Yeah.
sound-
Yeah.
And it
yeah.
was just like, I get where it was trying to go, this silly thing. And at first it was kind of fun because you have your tenant right next to you making a bunch of noise and you're trying to tell him to shut up. And you go over there and it's like body horror. You end up killing him. But it just spirals and spirals and spirals out of control into some theater kids version of what a massive ending would be, where everybody's singing songs and all the songs fucking suck, and I hated it.
Yeah.
And it feels like shitting on somebody's personal project, and I hate doing it. And I know there's people, fans. It's probably the best rated movie on this list. Maybe not, maybe 1 or 2 others that I just hated. But I had to put it on there, and it fell at number 20. Number 19, you guys have 10, right?
Yes.
10.
Okay. Number 19, In a Violent Nature. So I saw a lot of horrors. This one is a slasher. What made me see this? Well, the promise was that it would be a slasher completely from the killer's point of view. The camera would just follow the
I
killer.
didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it?
I didn't hate it.
I hated it
Oh, okay.
because it was so boring, Joe. And it didn't even follow the fucking premise. It would do perspectives of different people. I wanted it to legitimately stay with him, and that would have been at least interesting. The kills, though, the kills were really good. You remember that one kill? Okay, so if you can remind me, he takes like a chain, like punches it through her, and then it basically collapses her body with the chain. That was
fucking-
almost worth watching for just that part. But that's the only good part. It's like literally one kill. The rest of it is super boring, right, Joe?
It's very slow paced because he's literally just walking around and waiting. And walking around.
And waiting. But then the perspective does change
and
to
like
other people.
listening to people in the campfire.
And they also do the who kills. You remember? Was it Jason? Tommy with the shotgun is the one in the video game that you can get to try to kill Jason. And they try to do a Tommy-like character in here where he's like the rival of the. It just doesn't work. Moving on. One of the worst horror movies I've seen. This should probably be a lot higher, and I don't know why it's not a lot higher. Okay, this is probably one of the worst films on this list, but I expected nothing of it, and I only watched it after Joe told me about it. Tarot. Tarot is fucking
It's on my list.
boring. No scares. Maybe one or two cool creature designs from the different characters that are on the cards, but this is every bit a cookie cutter horror formula that doesn't work.
I hated it. It's on my list, but it's like
we'll
higher
see
up.
exactly where it is.
Well, it's like kind of mixed in with the other ones.
Yeah.
But
These films on this list, if you want to torture yourself, I want to know how many of these you've actually seen. Number 17 for me, Red One. Red One is everything wrong with wasting money on Amazon. They tried to make up for some of the money by putting it out in theaters, kind of raking it in before then throwing it on Steam.
what's
or
crazy, I
Prime.
saw the Angry Joe show. They did a review on this, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stay away from this.
Yeah, you saw that? You son
Those
of
guys
a
save a
bitch.
lot of money.
Joe wasn't here for that one and didn't
And
have to.
I have not seen it.
Really?
I'm not going to watch
You
it.
There's no
son of
reason
a
to.
bitch.
It is
You have
not.
to-
He
exactly
hasn't
what you
seen
did.
it.
Alex got away from the Marvels.
Yes, I was about
And
to
you
say.
got away from Red One. This is bullshit. But the Marvels was way worse, so you're good. Yeah, it's just tired. They're overpaying The Rock. It's almost feeling like a money laundering scheme. There's just... I kind of liked the first 15, 20 minutes, the energy that it had, like it's this cinematic universe kind of thing, but it quickly falls into formulaic tripe and garbage and just terrible storytelling and writing. Moving on to number 16, Y2K. This is an A24 film that sucked balls from me. It was disappointing. And this, you see the trailer, and the trailer really sells it. It's the year 2000. and
We
we'll
were all there.
We were all there, and it does get a lot of the nostalgic bit right, but the story itself, it kills the best characters off at the beginning, and you're left with not the B team, not even the C team, the Z team. It's like, why did we focus on these instead of these other characters? None of the jokes are funny, and really only the guy that sells weed and works at the Blockbuster Video that wants you to rent all the nasty videos in the back. That's like the only compelling character in the whole thing. And guess what? They kill him off, early, and it just sucks. And I was disappointed because the trailer was really good, and I went through Y2K, and it's a kind of a unique horror where it's like, oh, the machines are taking over, and they're going to there's just so many plot holes. It's so over the top, and if it's supposed to be that tongue-in-cheek, we know it's ridiculous. It's just not funny enough. So a rare failure from A24. Number 15. Salem's Lot on HBO Max. This came out, and if you don't know, it's Stephen King. Mm-hmm. They've done this multiple times. They did a movie. Then I think they did a series. And this, they bring it back, and now it's a movie again. Only it's worse than the previous movie and the previous series, and it's somehow more boring. You see one shot in the trailer of this kid kind of floating near a window, luring another kid, and his eyes are... That is the best part in the whole film. And
The other one did it better. Probably.
And the other one did it better. It is so boring. It is so pointless, and it culminates in a vampire fight in a fucking what do you call it? A drive-in movie theater. It's just so disappointing. Did
It
anybody
was.
see
I did
Salem's
see
Lot?
it. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna toss this on.
Yeah.
And I had it in the background. I was like, nah.
Really boring.
Nah.
Even as a background movie, it's
Yeah.
boring.
I was like, yeah, maybe there's something better.
All right, here's some big names that missed my top 10. These are big movies. Number 14, Gladiator 2. Just kind of misses the whole fucking point. This is the... What is this, 20 years later, 30 years later from the original? And it's just worse in every way. We all saw Gladiator
fights-
together. Alex, why does Gladiator 2 suck?
He fights
mean,
a monkey.
It is.
He fights a monkey.
It does. Yeah. I mean, it's not as compelling. It's everything's super convenient, and the best parts of the movie are when they literally play scenes from the original movie or are using lines from the original movie. And it's not good.
Yeah, it's crazy that a big budget, like straight to video DVD, like story got made like this, and it's all,
I like the
glamored
beginning.
up
Yeah,
because
the
of
beginning
the
was pretty
budget.
good in the battle
Exactly, yeah.
scenes, but then
But then you see
big
it's like Emperor with no clothes, or an empty suit. I'm getting the analogy wrong, but it's just empty. Number 13, another big budget blockbuster that this one kind of failed a little bit at the box office or tepid. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Again, missing the point. Not even as fun as Ghostbusters Afterlife. You would think that there'd be more energy. Okay, we're gonna bring the original cast back. We're gonna fucking do the kids now, and they're more experienced. And Wolfhard, what's the
Yeah.
kid from? He has
Finn?
nothing. Finn Wolfhard has nothing to do in the film. He's like not even in it.
he's trying to grab Slimer from time to time, but that's
Yeah.
it.
It was so bad.
This one fell victim to too many people.
Yes, too
There's
many
too
people
many
in the
people
film.
here.
But
That's it. I was thinking.
No, there's no such thing as too many characters.
and number 12 is Mufasa.
Yeah.
Mufasa. I know what y'all are talking about. You're talking about Superman, but that's fine. That's the criticism that all the
Yeah.
fucking chodes and chuds out there are gonna have about Superman. All right, Mufasa is the prequel that nobody asked for.
Bye-bye.
But it gave us
And
hits
the
like
worst.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna make him go bye-bye.
How does bye-bye go?
Make him go bye-bye.
I'm gonna kill him. Or no,
I'm
he's gonna go bye-bye.
a murder
Can't
him.
even
Bye-bye.
remember how it goes.
No.
I've always wanted a brother. That's kind of the best one in the whole thing. So the songs suck.
Yep.
The animation is slightly better, more expressive, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
And moreover, the story sucks.
Yeah, story's really poor.
And unfortunately, it made a ton of money at the box
Oh, yeah.
office.
Yeah.
And while we were initially happy that it beat Sonic 3, International came, and
Yeah,
the
it was
power
right.
of Disney across all of the world made that guy right. That we were crazy that Mufasa would not make as much, and it did make as much, and it made more on International. Number 11, just barely missing the top 10 because I am fucking stupid, apparently, like some of my other friends. I blend my stupidness in there. Craven. It's fucking awful, but I actually hate every single film in my top 10
Mine's higher.
worse than Craven. I would rather watch every single film on my top 10, or I would rather watch Craven than every single film on my top 10. Because there's some entertainment, like Aaron Taylor Johnson really commits himself to the role. It's just hilarious to say because the role. What is the role? What is the role, Joe?
He has powers. What powers? I don't fucking know because he could control animals.
Or something.
He wants to stop
lion
poachers.
blood got into a wound of his.
Yeah, and he wants to stop poachers, but he always gets there too late, so all the animals die anyway.
It's funny,
He's
man.
terrible.
He's always
But I'm
there. Like,
telling
seriously,
you,
15 minutes too late, they're all dead.
It is a terrible movie. Don't go watch it. But there is some entertainment value. They may disagree, but I think there's entertainment value in it. All right, we have arrived. Our top 10 worst movies of 2024.
Well, my 11 was
Oh, you got an 11?
Imaginary.
Oh, I hate that film so much that it's higher on my list.
It's higher on my list too.
Yeah, see, like my 11, 10, and 9, all you could switch them up, but
Okay.
they're all fucking bad.
11, 10, and 9.
Imaginary is so fucking bad. It's bland, terrible.
It goes
had
crazy
no
terrible.
imagination.
Yeah.
You're telling me there's no imagination in Imaginary?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, number 10. Do you have an 11?
No.
Number 10 is Venom: The Last Dance. I would rather watch Craven than watch Venom: The Last Dance. They have jumped the shark with this series. Not only are you killing off Venom, you're doing dance sequences in the middle of Vegas for no fucking reason. There's no rhyme or point to the story. This could have been solved much easier. You're teasing Kroll at the beginning and you don't actually use him. Instead, you use these big CGI monsters. And then you throw in a bunch of generic fucking symbiote assholes and you don't even use the opportunity to do anything creative with it, like Anti-Venom or fucking, the fucking Maximum Carnage side characters and Doppelganger and all these other things. No. We have generic, that one's blue, this one's purple, and that one's green.
Scream.
Not even really the real Scream. It just sucks. And
a
I hate
whimper.
Venom 3 so goddamn much. Don't watch it as a piece of shit.
My number 10 is Night Swim. Be careful with this deadly ancient pool. It was built on
Swimming
ancient
pool.
Indian burial ground river water. Oh, stay away from the pool.
That sounds scary, Joe.
Well, technically, the entire United States is an ancient Indian burial
It's
ground.
like, okay, well, you can just stay away from the pool, then nothing's going to hurt you.
No, it just
No, it
No, we
lures you, Joe. It
lures
gets
you.
into your brain because you did have fun in the pool once.
It came in through your booty
This
hole.
is a fucking terrible movie. Don't ever fucking watch it. It's dumb.
Oh, I agree. Mine's higher. I have it
Yeah,
higher.
Mine's
higher.
way higher.
yeah.
My number 10 is Red One. I do agree that there's some sort of weird money laundering thing going on because no one, like, I don't know what The Rock's allure is, what he has over Middle
Yeah.
America. Like, I just hug your kids, introduce
What
them
is
to
wrong
books.
with
Like,
The
I don't
Rock?
know if it's the reading level in the United States has fallen to the third grade. Like, why are we watching these
Do the eye
horrible?
thing, Joe.
They're so bad.
There you go.
And they pay him like it was like $40 million.
They paid him like half the budget.
Yeah, and it's insane. Like, there's a cool premise. I really dig the premise. There was some interesting things that I thought that they were going to do. They did none of them. It starts off okay, like you mentioned. First 15 minutes are kind of interesting, and then just goes absolutely fucking nowhere. You shouldn't watch it. I want things like this to fail.
Yeah.
And the reason that I want them to fail is because Amazon spends
garbage.
$200 million on them, and that money comes away from other artists.
Yes.
And so...
What do we desperately want, put that money towards Warhammer 40,000, Henry Cavill's project. Put it towards, not Rings of Power, put it towards
They already
rehiring, redoing Rings of Power.
Just hiring people to do more things like they did with Invincible and The Boys
Yeah.
and things that are making like really good money and that people actually like. But this ain't it. It sucked.
Okay, number 9. I can't believe this is so low. There's got to be... this is such a bad movie. How is it so low? Rebel Moon Part 2.
I don't know how it's so low for you.
This should be way higher.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather see it than a lot of the other ones that I put above it. That goes to show you how fucking bad the movies were this year. Rebel Moon Part 2 is supposed to save and redeem the Part 1 and all this, and it does none of it. It just confirms that Zack Snyder is exactly who he thought he was. He has no talent with regards to storytelling, writing, plot, universe building, characters. Really, the only thing he can do is frame a shot and sometimes do some good action. But if it's all empty, who the fuck cares? I don't care. And he planned to make this big 6-movie series
And video game.
and video game and RPG that was sued into oblivion because they wouldn't even pay the people that did the fucking work, or some bullshit like that. And have we heard about a part 3? No, because it was an utter failure. That's how bad of a film it was.
Yeah, it's higher on my list.
What'd you get for number 9?
My number 9 is Craven. I do think it's an awful fucking movie, and
See, it's towards the bottom.
but it is. I don't think it is worth seeing. I don't think any of the action's worth being there. I just think that everything above this list is worse by a lot. But Craven, I think Craven in any other year could easily have been top 5 worst movies of the year.
Yeah.
Terror for my number 9. It's fucking terrible. Nothing makes sense. It was so fucking stupid.
Taro?
Taro.
Yeah, Taro. Yeah, just awful. And that's probably where it should be. It should be higher, but it's like so. It's just so generic. It shouldn't exist. No money should have been spent on it because it's not scary. It's not interesting. It's nothing. Moving on. Number 8 for me is Joe's Imaginary. This is Blumhouse at his worst. This is cookie cutter horror. This is, we know we're going to spend $10 million and make $80 million instantly. All we have to do is show some creepy vibes, play a little kiddie song.
Yeah.
You know, the stupid fucking formula that they do every fucking time. And the lady in it, terrible acting, terrible story. None of it scary, and I wanted it to end desperately. Every moment it played on the screen, it made me more angry.
Yeah, it's also my number 8. I think that
me and Alex are linking up on you.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is every second this movie is playing, it gets worse because it actually starts off, in my opinion, in an okay spot. Like, hey, there's potential here.
The idea has amazing potential.
And then it's like, oh, cool, the imaginary friend. The kids are always creepy when they're possessed or something, and it just gets dumber and dumber, and then it goes
every time it could do something cool, it chooses the worst way to interpret that.
Money.
Yeah, that's just costs money. It's just like, yeah, and then it goes to absolute crazy town at the end, and it's not interesting, and I couldn't wait for it to be.
Yeah, going into some sort of other dimension, and the dimension being so disappointing. It's fucking black and white tile with doors.
I saw Beetlejuice too.
Wow, yeah, somebody saw Beetlejuice and thought that they were done. Number 7.
My number 8 is Craven.
Sorry.
Basically, everything we said is fucking terrible. It wasn't very good. I was expecting a little bit something extra. I was like, oh, this one's going to be rated R. Maybe it'll be a 4 or 5.
What's the point in that one lady? Who isn't even that lady?
I don't know.
The bow and arrow lady? She's super important.
Yeah,
she's like, the one that gives the voodoo juice.
Take this vial, and something's going to happen. I'm not saying when.
But is that the last time she ever saw her grandma?
Yeah. It was the last time she died.
My grandma
you just
died,
said she died.
and it was the last time I ever saw her. But she died. I forget how the line goes. It's so bad. All right, number 7 is Night Swim for me. This has no redeeming value in horror. It was so boring. It actively made me upset. I think it has even less imagination than Imaginary, and that's hard to do because at least in Imaginary there was a cool design of a creature for 3 seconds on screen. Night Swim doesn't even have that on screen for 3 seconds. It's got a bunch of dead bodies that you can barely see trying to tug you down in a really dirty ass pool.
Yeah.
Getting tugged off in a dirty pool.
I was about to say that. You just laying flat.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Hope nobody tugs you down.
Oh, no one tugged me.
When you're digging out, you want people to
God damn it, don't you get out of the pool.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my pool. I pay for it. I use
But
it.
no, there's evil entities trying to grab you. I know.
As long as you're lying on an
Go
inflatable
away.
and there's a hole, then it's all they can grab.
This is a much better film we're talking about. None of that ever happens in the film.
No.
If it did, it might be on our best list. But this was on the worst.
Yeah, mine's also Night Swim. It's fucking awful.
Hey.
It is boring. And most of the time in like horror movies, you're at least expecting like a cool jump scare to keep you entertained for a minute. And even then, that's cheap. It has nothing.
No.
Nothing happens in this fucking movie. And again, any other year, we're talking top 3 worst movies. But there's some real bad ones.
My number 7 is Venom 3. They keep doing Venom dirty. This fucking sucks. I honestly fucking hated the casino scene. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I can't change into Venom because the whole world is at stake. If I do that, they're gonna find us. Oh, You
Yeah.
want to dance? Let's dance. And then he changes, and the
And they
whole
find him.
world. Oh my god!
This
It
is
was-
how
it was so
Venom
dumb.
died.
It was so dumb.
This is the last Venom film.
It-
Even if they brought a truck full of money, they're not doing it because the fucking universe is over.
They'll
Wow.
reboot it. They'll reboot it.
And they'll bring him back, hopefully. Number 6 is a Netflix film, Uglies. I don't know why I watched this.
Why
I
did you
watched-
watch it? I told you not to
Because
watch
Johnson
it.
knows- No, why?
Because I need to watch the films that I speak on. That's one of the films that I had to watch for this fucking list, and I hated every moment of it.
You finished it?
Yes, and it's about a fucking civilization where all the beautiful people get to live over there, and all the ugly people get to live over here, and they're oppressed. Only this ugly person that we are following around
It's
is
not ugly.
not ugly at
Probably
all.
just has glasses
Yeah.
It's
and like
super
his hair is
ugly.
down.
Every
Whoa,
single
you're
ugly
beautiful.
person in the film is not ugly.
Fuck
you
off.
fail. You lose. Get out. You win nothing. What is it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
What am I, dark shit? If that's an ugly person, it's like, oh
Well,
god.
and even if they actually made ugly people and made
It's still
them
dumb.
into, it was still the worst, most stupid young adult, dumb bullshit. The hot guy who is ugly, but then eventually becomes beautiful, then treats her like shit, and revealing that he was also ugly on the inside. But wait, no, but he wasn't
Message.
ugly on the inside when he was in the uglies. But then when he became beautiful, he became ugly on the inside.
Yeah.
Did anybody see? Did you see
Fuck
this?
no.
Oh, I started watching it and I turned it off. And
Yeah.
I told you I started watching it. I told you it was terrible, and I told you I couldn't finish it.
All
Yeah,
of the
so watch it then.
dialogue was so bad. It is actually painful to try to watch the whole thing. And I watched the whole thing, and I wanted to punch somebody by the end. And I'm like, if I were to ever date a girl who would like a movie like this, I would instantly break up with her.
Oof.
Because that's who it's made for. It's made for, I don't know, like a certain segment of women who, I guess have dreams of being more beautiful. And so the message, I can see the message is in the right place where it's
What
like,
was the message?
well, because it's beauty is not everything, and you
It's on
don't
the
need to be
inside.
beautiful on the outside. Yeah, exactly.
So they only cast
But
beautiful people.
Right. It just, and the world doesn't function. It's stupid and ultimately pointless. And I'm mad that Netflix wasted a bunch of money. All right.
All right, number 6 is Rebel Moon. I had to watch this goddamn movie twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it twice.
You did. Director's cut.
Yeah.
Which was not
and
better.
It was
Not
not
better.
better. It did not enhance anything. Actually, I think it
But
made
Joe,
it worse.
trust me, you would rather watch that than Uglies.
Yeah, it's just a bad movie. We warned you about it. Don't watch this movie. Stay away from it. It was bad.
It's too low. I'm upset with you that you have it that low.
I have the other ones that.
Yeah, I'm upset.
It's just the problem with the Rebel Moon is the universe is so stupid and it's taken so serious. Like he thinks he's making the next Star Wars, and he thinks he's got a hit, and he doesn't. It is as bad as the universe in Uglies.
yeah.
Oh, and by the way, in Uglies, there's a third faction of people that are resistance members that don't live with the beautiful people or the ugly people. And then the way these tie in, oh, I'm sorry.
What are
this is
they?
fucking stupid.
Now I'm curious.
They're outcasts. They just and
They don't consider
they don't
them-
want to take the surgery to become beautiful
Oh.
if they get selected, and they refuse society's
Norms. or
yeah
whatever.
expectations.
6 for me is Venom 3. Has almost no redeeming qualities. It's not good. I didn't like Venom 1. I thought Venom 1 was a giant pile of unrealized potential. And while I think Tom Hardy was charming and I think he did a really good job with the script is bad, it was doomed from the start because those shitbag talentless assholes wanted to make a PG-13 Venom movie, and they replaced the violence with comedy, except for they didn't hire good comedy writers, and so even Venom 1, which is the best of them, wasn't very good. And then not only could they not contain themselves, they had to go and destroy Carnage, and then they wanted to run it back and do Venom 3 with mixed bag symbiotes and an ABBA dance scene. And I like ABBA.
Yeah.
And so it's like an ABBA dance scene that doesn't make any sense, and
a fucking Venom horse. He falls off a plane for no reason so that they can have the horse ride in the desert he just falls for no reason.
Yeah.
This is making up shit as you go along.
Yes.
And these movies make money, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. Number 5, a movie that has disdain for its audience, Joker 2. Joker 2 is my number 5, and I know it's Joker Falialu, and it was like, fuck you, fuck you too, because it was basically the anti-Joker. All of it was fucking pointless. This was the director, I don't want to do a sequel. Do a sequel. It made $1 billion.
Oh, and Joaquin Phoenix wrote
a
it.
sequel.
I mean, he wrote
All right, fuck it. Joaquin, what ideas do you have? I guess I'll do it. Oh, that sounds good in my fucking, everybody's farting in this room and we're smelling our own farts and it smells really good kind of way. And then they made the film.
I'm surprised this is so low.
Mine is number 5 too.
Harley was terrible.
She was. There was nothing good. I love musicals. This is not a good musical at all.
So it's
There's
worst
nothing
of both.
good about this one. It honestly sucked.
And she kind of takes over the film. She's like the main character. Obviously, it's Arthur, but he's just so sidelined. He's just such a pathetic version. And I get it. That's the fucking point. That he's not the Joker that everybody thinks that he is. Yeah. It was not satisfying.
Nope.
And I get what you're going for in artistic integrity. You just made a shitty film, and I didn't like it.
Exactly what it was.
I have the right to.
My number 5 is also Joker 2. Didn't like it.
Okay, we linked up.
Mine's The Crow. I think the Crow was a horrible fucking movie, but at least there was some action sequences in there. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of a single thing in my 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like, I would rather watch The Crow over and over again than any of these other movies.
Holy shit!
Because there's action.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I hate The Crow.
Oh, I hate it. I absolutely despise this movie. But I'd rather be sitting on the couch and watch him like slice up people with a sword, or get shot, or do other things.
He does get shot a lot.
Then
he's like the worst version of Crow there ever is.
It's awful. Like, this is an absolutely terrible movie.
Terrible people.
It's shitting on the IP. I don't think What's-Your-Face can act at all. Yeah. This is real bad.
Number 4, Borderlands. You take a video game licensed film. Where in an age where video game licenses are doing well, they're saying, hey, let's get talented people. Let's get some talented actors. Let's stay true to the games, and let's make something really awesome. Lionsgate said, fuck all that. Let's exploit this IP. Let's rush it out. Let's do some of the worst casting we've ever had. And it was bad. While the visuals might have made it look similar to the video games, there were no turning it into a complete joke with no funny jokes. And tired-ass actors playing the same characters. Motherfucking, what's his name?
Jack Black?
Kevin
Hart?
Hart as Roland. Just the worst casting. Tired, boring, stupid, and as a fan of the video game, a terrible job on Tiny Tina, a terrible job on Claptrap. In fact, Jack Black as Claptrap did such a crap job, he got a Razzie. I think they were trying to award a Razzie for that. I don't know if he showed up like Catwoman did, Halle Berry. But Borderlands lost so much money. The Lionsgate was blindsided. They're like, everybody else had a hit, but the Sonic and the Pikachu and why didn't it work for us?
Because shit. That's why.
Because you're shit. Because you fucking, it was awful.
Number 4, we got The Crow. This one shat on the original. Fucking hated this one. I loved the couple in the first one. This one were just two drug addicts that met at fucking rehab. They weren't likable at all.
They were the worst characters.
Like, honestly,
They
I don't know.
They deserved to die.
They're like, hey, I love you, but we're like gonna
There's no reason for you to love each other.
drug bender for the weekend.
Right.
And I'm gonna take vengeance. It's like, why?
We were supposed to like these people?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
these
supposed to
weren't
believe
likable.
about their unwavering love.
No.
Yeah,
It was all
It
drugs.
was all terrible. I didn't like it. It's
And he's
higher
like
my
literally
list.
the worst Crow. He dies like 3 times in the film. He doesn't get any better.
Yeah, it's higher my list because it just like
it's higher
shed
on
on
my list.
it shed on the original for me,
Mhm.
and Brandon was the best.
Yeah. I think Borderlands is worse than The Crow, so my number 4 is Borderlands. It's not good. There's nothing about it that's good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, at least The Crow had an action sequence that was okay. Borderlands has nothing. There's nothing funny. It has nothing.
Yeah, okay. I'm about to one-up you because my number 3 is The Crow. I think The Crow is worse than Borderlands because I didn't really have much expectations for Borderlands, and Borderlands had nothing that came before. Like Joe said, the reason why I was a little higher on Joe's is because it destroyed this, I don't know, piece of art. If you look, like, it's almost like a flash in the pan, and Brandon Lee, the Gothic City,
was
ties that he's a good person and he likes to make jokes and kind of play with his food before he kills them. All of that is gone.
The better one is still with Ed Furlong.
Edward Furlong.
Oh my God, there are so many bad
Yes.
crows.
That one
And
is
for
better
for
than
this,
this
crow,
one.
oh my God,
And it went straight-
Edward Furlong
Yeah,
crow is
after
better.
like what, a week or two, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's just stream it.
Yeah. So it literally, not only does it have no redeeming qualities, but the fact that it shits on the original and gets everything wrong means that it's higher for me and an absolute insult. I would rather watch Borderlands again. I'd rather watch I don't know. Uglies is real bad. Real bad.
Both of these are like
Alex might be right on the Crow action scene because at least there, that's better almost than the Uglies. But no, it's that factor of the nostalgic. I actually really enjoyed the original and inspired, goths and everything. And it just, no. Ruined. Okay, number 3.
3 is Madam Web.
That's number 3!
Yeah. Madam Web.
But
It was
what?
so. Well, I was talking to Alex about this one. My number 1 is kind of like obscure, but like I watched it and it was fucking bad.
Okay.
But yeah, my number 3, Madam Web. My mother was in the Amazon when she's pregnant.
Yeah.
then
She's studying. She's
Bitten by a
Fake
spider.
Spider-Man showed up, and it was stupid.
In a bad costume.
And then I had like party-seated glasses because I got hit by a rocket in my forehead.
The big
firework.
action sequence was done in the fireworks factory.
Oh, the Pepsi.
What's this?
Pepsi fire.
sign.
It was a Pepsi
sign.
firework. It was a Pepsi firework.
Yeah.
It's the factory.
Yeah.
It's fucking
is-
bad.
this is higher
Everyone
than
knows
3.
how bad it is. Yeah, there were some funny parts, but it was unintentionally funny. That's why I have the other one at 2. But this is like
Yeah.
it never want to watch this.
My number 3 was Rebel Moon. I think the problem I had with Rebel Moon is I was forced to watch it
Yes.
twice. And it was bad the first time, and it was bad the second time. And watching a barely literate fuck steal from better artists
Seven Samurai.
drives me crazy because he's
Magnificent Seven.
trying to steal Seven Samurai. He's trying to steal from Warhammer. He's trying to steal from all of these other properties. He understands
And getting it wrong.
none of them.
Yes.
And all of the characters are bad. And the action sequences are bad. And then he wants to set up all of this stuff. He's trying to set up movie 6 in movie 2. And he's forgetting to make movie 2 good. And so I don't care about your set. Wait, what happened to
Scargiver.
What about the blue-eyed zombie that you never got the answers to? So he's trying, like, that asshole.
What is it?
It ties into Rebel Moon, Joe.
So,
They
like-
didn't have blue eyes.
Well, so like that's the problem I have with him in general is I don't think he's a good writer at all. I don't think he understands characters or story. So he steals from people. He's like a bored housewife on Pinterest going, I like that thing, I like that thing, I like that thing, I like that thing. Here's my collage.
Stick in mine.
And then I'm going to put a scene
No.
in there that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable involving a young young woman and a bunch of dudes.
He does that in every one of his films.
Every one of his movies.
Every single one.
It's like, bro,
and he wanted Batman to undergo the R word as well.
Yeah,
this just shows you what is on this guy's mind.
I'd rather have Quentin Tarantino and his weird feet thing in all of the movies versus
Batman in prison getting Huatachud.
Yeah, so fuck Rebel Moon.
What is Huatachud? So I just made it up. Okay, yeah. All right, my number 2 is a film I had to literally just watch right now, and I had to watch it illegally because this film is so bad. This is number 1, okay? But number 1 is number 1 for a different reason. But this should be number 1 objectively. A film so bad you cannot even watch it anymore. This thing literally came out, and it doesn't exist except for on pirate sites right now. The rights have been revoked, and nobody knows why. Maybe because the director got embarrassed. This is Megalopolis. Guys, I've seen this.
Is it like what they're saying? Or Red 11 Media is like, oh, this is like a Neil Breen thing.
Yes, Joe, you need to see it. This is Neil Breen on a big budget with big actors who should be fucking ashamed of themselves, embarrassed because Adam Driver is in this, and he is so bad, and you could tell it's not their fault. Esposito, Giancarlo, you can tell that the dialogue given to him is so bad, and the dialogue is so bad that actors at this level cannot elevate it. And I'm so surprised that none of these actors said, "Excuse me, Coppola, sir, do you think maybe we can workshop some of these lines that I'm saying so
He's
that
Francis
they make
Ford Coppola,
sense?"
and you are not.
And you don't say that kind of shit to him, I guess. And they just were, "Oh, Godfather, I'm going to be in the next Godfather." And this is his dream project that he's been working on for almost his whole life. And it turns out, and he puts $200 million of his own money into it.
That's a big no-no.
And because no studio wanted it, no studio would do it. And there's a reason. It is bafflingly bad. Like, I am so confused right now still after watching it. It is so bizarre. It is a fever dream. It is so cheap looking, green screen sets, nonsensical things. Like, statues start moving when he's driving around in his fucking taxi that I guess is supposed to symbolize the people being oppressed.
Don't think about it too hard.
I don't understand it. And I guess if you did a poor man's version of, like, Lynch stuff where it's like
you just don't get it,
you
Joe.
take Dark City and you take Southland Tales and you take Altered States, Inland Empire, and you mash them all together and you have a 12-year-old be in charge of it. That is what this is. And I guess Rome, they've got this thing where America is Rome and they're empires. And Adam Driver he's the architect of this futuristic city that can pause time. And then there's a love story. And then Shia LaBeouf is cross-dressing in it. And he's jealous of Adam Driver. And he follows him around the whole film. And the mayor's really mad that his daughter falls in love with Adam Driver, who's like the most powerful person and can stop time, but he doesn't like him for some reason because he's the mayor of the city and he wants to change the city. And everything is a representation of everything else. It's a huge allegory of this is like a director that wants to be poignant and make a point about life and love and people and the enduring human spirit. And it is pretentious nonsense garbage that is baffling to watch.
He's 85 years old. We've established that mental decline begins at 70, which is why we shouldn't let these people...
Imagine an 85-year-old going on these horrible, terrible 15-minute long monologues that make no sense.
Yeah, that's why I skipped it.
It's really bad. And I put myself through it. and illegally because you can't get it right now.
Also, his wine has started to go
They ripped it off
downhill.
of Amazon. They ripped it off of Apple TV. It just says coming soon on Apple TV, even though it was there. It was on Amazon. It says these rights are no longer available. Nobody knows what happened to it. I guess he's like, fuck you. You don't get my masterpiece then. It's almost fascinating. It's so bad. The worst film of 2024 you cannot see anymore. Allegedly.
The internet holds everything
The
forever.
internet holds everything. And that's probably the only way to see this. It's so bad. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Borderlands, because it was so fucking bad. I was
Yes.
bored. Terrible cast, terrible writing, terrible shots, terrible sets.
They
Everything
fuck up
about
the
this
mythos.
movie is terrible.
Yeah, all the
It was not
interesting
funny.
mysteriousness with the crows are gone.
Yeah, like none of this was salvageable. I didn't like anything about this movie. It's
Yep.
so fucking bad. I never want to see this again.
I can say all the same things about my number 2, which is Madam Web. Not salvageable. There's only one movie that came out this year that I will not watch at all again. I cannot do it. There's not even a single scene at all that I like. And at least Madam Web has some almost so bad that it's funny. Like we now that it's memeable now because we start laughing at like, oh my mom was studying at the spiders and like the low rent spider dudes in South America. Some of that is at least humorous on how bad it is. My number 1 has none of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
My number 1 destroyed the Sony Spider-Verse, and this was the beginning of the end. Actually, the entire beginning of the Sony Snyderverse was the beginning of the end. But this one put the nail in the coffin, doomed Craven. It's Madam Web for all the reason the boys just said. It is. Just go back to it. The Pepsi, the getting hit in the face and blinding her for no reason out of nowhere. Not even integral to the
They
character.
can't say Ben Parker. They can't even use the
They can't
name.
use nothing, and the climax of the film, and she puts out weird tentacles and grabs people, and Pepsi wins the day. It is so simultaneous, low budget, and a waste of money. It's straight
Hold
from
the can.
the
Remember, hold the can.
1990s and like the first Captain America live action movie, like the Halle Berry version of Catwoman. This is all of that. And taken seriously. A film so bad that this actress killed her career. She fired her fucking talent agency. What the fuck? I can't believe. And it's become a meme. And and Sydney Sweeney in the film does nothing.
Nobody does it.
And
They
she can't even
dance on the
save it with her
table.
big honkers that everybody
They
is
dance on the
obsessed
table,
over.
that's it.
She does nothing. She dances on a table, barely. And they all dance on the table for no reason. It's like, hide here in the forest, and then she drives off and then comes back. There's so many nonsensical choices in this film. You could have done anything else, but we chose this rip-off Spider-Man who, frankly, is the hero. Because he has a vision of these girls in really terrible spider suits, and the marketing for this film made it seem like you would see the girls as all their respective characters. And it was just this, 5-second flashback in which they all kill him. So what are you going to do? You're going to kill them first. So he's just defending himself. Why did they kill him?
He does something.
bad.
Anyways, it's just awful. The dialogue is awful. The ending is awful. It was embarrassing. And the only reason why it's above Megalopolis, which really is worse in every way, is no redeemable qualities, is because there was no expectation for Megalopolis. It came out of nowhere. It's like an old fart's fever dream and embarrassing. And you're like, you go to a recital and it's really bad. You just clap and then you let them go. But Madam Web is this big budget, Sony is holding on to the license and then cranking out,
terrible stuff.
Using something legendary and putting out this fucking garbage is a travesty.
Well, speaking of using something legendary, my number 1 is Mousetrap. You all know how Steamboat
I've
is.
never seen it.
Oh,
Steamboat is now public domain.
Yeah.
And this is the first
Mickey
one
Mouse.
that's coming out. Besides, there's a new one that's coming out.
Scream something.
Screamboat or something.
Screamboat.
Yes, Mousetrap. In the beginning, you see this guy, just like the back shot or whatever. he's watching Steamboat Willie, and then something happens. And
Something
happens, and these kids are trapped in an arcade, and the killer is dressed up as Mickey Mouse with a terrible fucking looking mask and a knife, and he's wearing a hockey jersey, but he teleports.
Okay.
I don't really know why he teleports. I don't like.
This sounds amazing. It sounds
Ter-
better
terrible-
than Night Swim.
Terrible acting, terrible kills, and to stun him, you put a light on him, but it doesn't really work. You just stun him for a little bit. He still teleports away.
You hit him with a flashlight?
Well, you shine a light on him, because I guess he came out from the movie. I don't know. It's still kind of weird, confusing.
This is worse than Night Swim. I'm just confirming with you.
Yes.
Okay.
It was so fucking bad. But again, I kind of expected something bad, but it was worse than what I got. You could at
Is
least
this Pooverse?
no.
It's its own?
Yeah.
So it's a knockoff Pooverse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was like, oh, Mousetrap. Maybe they'll do something cool. But no, it's like the first Winnie the Pooh. Terrible looking costume, and he just had like.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. He's still alive.
Is it mercifully short?
It seemed long. It was too long for its own goddamn. Yeah, this was terrible.
Mousetrap.
But they left it open ended, so we might have a Mousetrap too.
No, because this year we were wanting to review the Screamboat, so we'll see. You get to tell us which one's better.
Yeah. It sounds like I'd rather watch that than Joker 2, which is, I think, the worst movie of the year. I don't think that there's any redeeming qualities for Joker.
Excuse me, it's not Joker 2?
Joker Folie à Deux.
There you go.
The thing is, Madam Web is memeable funny. It's so bad that some parts are okay. Rebel Moon at least has some action. Borderlands isn't great, but I'd rather watch Borderlands than Joker 2. I'd rather watch The Crow than Joker 2. There's not a scene in Joker 2 where it's like, I want to see that again. I don't think anyone in this acts particularly well.
Yeah.
The songs are super fucking annoying, and I like musicals, so I would never sit down
See
and
it
watch this again. Out of all of these, I would never sit down and watch it again, and I'd watch all of these other ones
Right,
before
because
that.
Madam Web, was it really that bad? Let me watch that part again. That was real bad.
Yeah.
The Pepsi sign fell on him.
Yeah, I just don't need to watch Joker ever again.
It makes the whole Joker, though, even the first one, feel completely pointless. It actually does damage to that.
Well, the director, look, Joker Part 1 was stolen work, right? He
Yes.
copied Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy.
Yeah.
All both starring Robert De Niro, which is why he cast Robert De Niro. So he let you know that he was stealing from Scorsese. Joker 2, he wasn't stealing from anyone. That was his own shit, and Joaquin Phoenix's crazy I'm an actor bullshit, and
Yeah.
he put out one of the worst things I've ever watched with you guys.
Yep, that is our worst list, guys. Going super fast here, trying to make these shorter so they're somewhat watchable. Tell us what your worst films of the list were. How would you rank them in the comments? I want to see them. And it's always this list is more fascinating for
Yeah.
me than the best list because it's like I always have this morbid curiosity.
What about
And I think
Mousetrap?
it taps into what Joe watches these Z movies and Z grade things. Now I guess I have to see Mousetrap.
Expect more because
as one
I'm
of
gonna
the
go
worst.
see the Poonaverse.
Yeah,
I got
well, watch
Peter Pan
Watch
and
what?
Screamboat.
Watch Mousetrap and then watch Hundreds of Beavers.
There you
Like
go.
two little independent movies, and you can take a look at the quality.
All right, guys.
Oh,
Thank
shit.
y'all so much for watching. Leave your comments down below, and we will see you in 2025 and on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.